So pretty much I had to remove all the small little grassy plants out of the corner of the tank because the hair algae was just growing way too enormous and it proved almost impossible to kind of take all that off with those little tweezers or to just use some chemical stuff to get it off of there. Basically, I didn't want to try any of that because I knew it wouldn't work anyways, and the chemical stuff is just really bad for the fish anyway. So I just took them out, and I'm going to replace them with new, healthy plants. I've noticed though that the hair algae and the algae in general is not really growing as much as it has been in my tank in the beginning. So I'm thinking that it's starting to die off because of the chemical media reactor that I've been using. I've been using carbon in that reactor, and it's a lot of carbon, so it's not like the normal amount of carbon you would find in a little filter bag inside of a power filter. It's a whole cylinder filled with carbon, so it's a lot more. And what I'm thinking is using that chemical filtration, it not only removes odors and stuff from the water and makes the water considerably clearer, but it also helps in the fact of removing all these little proteins and things like that that will cause hair algae and regular algae to grow. So I'm pretty much thinking that's the main reason why the hair algae is starting to die off. It also could be because some other thing that I just don't know about, but pretty much that's just my guess, and my guess could be right, it could be wrong, like I said. So hair algae is dying off, and that's going really well, and algae is not growing on the glass walls as much as it was anymore either, so that's really good because I really don't like having to use that little mag cleaner thing every single day. It's just kind of a hassle. So for actually, I think it's been about 4 days now, I haven't had to clean the glass whatsoever, so pretty good, because before I would have to clean it every day, like I said, so pretty big difference. My discus fish are doing good. It's just that they're not really meant for my tank, and I'll tell you why. My tank is situated in my living room, so it's a really high traffic area. When my little cousin comes over and when I have family over, lots of people are walking past my tank and stuff. And pretty much every day I'm walking past my tank, and so are my parents. So it's a little bit of an issue because discus fish are really skittish and they don't like that kind of movement. They like being in a tank that's kind of situated inside of a room or in a corner where there's not a lot of activity. So every time I walk up to the tank to feed them, they go and hide and they don't eat. So as a result, they've been getting really skinny and they're probably going to die soon if I don't do something else. So I'm just going to sell my discus fish and stick with angelfish for the time being because as you see, or as you can see, the angelfish aren't scared whatsoever. They're pretty much the best fish to own in a place where, or in a tank that gets a lot of traffic in front of it. And I also like, because my discus or my angelfish will eat from my hand and stuff. My discus fish will never do that unless I had the appropriate setting for which the tank should be. But I don't. So I'm gonna be selling my discus fish on Craigslist, and then I'm just gonna stick with my angelfish and possibly slowly over time add some more angelfish just so I can fill the tank up to its max capacity. I'm also going to be adding a pleco suckerfish to the tank to kind of eat some algae, because there is some algae on the plants and stuff, and it'd be nice just to not have to do that myself. It'd be nice to have a fish in there that would eat it. But the only thing I don't like is that plecos get really big. They get extremely big, and I had one a long time ago and it got so big that it was able to climb its way out of the tank even with the glass tops on it, and it got out and it got onto the carpet and it obviously died. Another one I had before that got out, and I was walking through my living room in the middle of the night and I stepped on it and it about freaked the living shit out of me. So so I don't want to go through that again because it's just like insane. So this time what I made sure that I've done is I've actually put the glass tops on the top, but I've sealed all possible exits out of the aquarium. So there's no way that the pleco that I buy would be able to jump out or suck its way out of the tank. So I've made sure of that this time. But yeah, I'm mainly getting a pleco because there's just a lot of extra algae that I wanted to eat, and so the tank kind of looks clean all the time. Pretty much that's it. Everything is going really well. The two Anonarchus plants that I have right there are growing really well. And the couple other plants in the corner are doing well as well, growing, pretty quickly. Somebody asked me in the comment section how often I use the liquid fertilizer, and I just wanted to answer that question really quickly in this video. I use liquid fertilizer about once every 2 weeks. You can, spread it out a little more. But pretty much I've noticed that, once every 2 weeks is pretty sufficient. But there will be times I forget and I only do it like once a month, and still my plants grow, quite frequently. Pretty much it just depends on what type of plants you have. If you have plants that are kind of require more fertilizer, you obviously want to do it more often than once every 2 weeks. But for the plants I have, they grow pretty rapidly even without fertilizer. So the fertilizer just adds an extra little kick. So it just depends on the type of plants you have, but mostly I just do it once every 2 weeks. So thanks for watching this episode of Jacob's Aquarium. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.